Hey, second grade, I hope that you are having a great Monday and you're ready for some math this week. We're going to get started with a word problem for today, so let's take a look. Okay, here's our word problem for the day, and I'm actually going to draw out the apps check mat for us so that we can analyze this problem. Okay, here is our problem. Let's read it together. Bo had 68 snowballs. He used 16 of the snowballs. Then he made 22 more snowballs. How many snowballs does Bo have now? Whoa, there's a lot that was going on in that problem. Okay, let's go back through the problem, and I want you to listen as I read and figure out what is the question that we are being asked here. Okay, so Bo had 68 snowballs. He used 16 of the snowballs. Then he made 22 more snowballs. How many snowballs does Bo have now? What question are we being asked? How many snowballs does Bo have now? That's our question that we need to solve. Okay, now let's go back through and listen for what's important in the word problem. Bo had 68 snowballs. 68 is important. That tells us how many he started with. He used 16 of the snowballs, and used is important. If he's using snowballs, is he adding there or is he taking away? Let's think about that. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. Then he made 22 more snowballs. Okay, so 22 more, made 22 more. Okay, and then we have our question. This is going to take some thinking for us to figure out. All right, so for our plan, we need to figure out if we're adding or subtracting, but I have a feeling we might be doing both. So how many snowballs did Bo start with? He started with 68, right? And then he used 16 of them. So if he's using 16 snowballs, is he taking away or is he adding? If he's using what he had, he is taking away. So 68 minus 16. But then after that, he made 22 more snowballs. So after he used his 16, he had some left. And he made 22 more. So if he's making more, he's adding. So we have got to do some work here. We've got several different things we've got to do to figure out finally how many does he have now. So it looks like first we're going to have to subtract to figure out how many he had after he used 16. And then we've got to take that number and add 22 more that he made. Okay, so we've got some work to do. Let's start first to solve it. Let's just solve we'll use base 10 blocks, and I'm going to draw them out. That way we can really see it. Okay, so he had 68 snowballs to start with. So let's build 68. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. There's the 68. Now he used 16 of them. So remember, we need to take away 16. So in 16 there is 1 10. So take away a 10. And then 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many do we have left now? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Okay, so we have 52. And now we need to add 22 more to it. So 10, 20, 21, 22. Now what I'm going to do is count these together to see how many I have. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Okay, so I think after all of that work with his snowballs, I think Bo now has 74. That was a lot of work though, and it's definitely important that we check it to make sure that we did everything right. So this time I'm going to solve the problem, and I'm just going to use like my number sentences or equations that I wrote out. So this time let's do 68 minus 16 to start with. Look at our ones place first. What is 8 take away 6? 8 minus 6 is 2. Now let's look at our tens place. What is 6 take away 1? 6 minus 1 is 5. So far it looks like we're on the right track because we had that part right. But 52 is not the answer because remember he made 22 more. So now we need to do 52 plus 22. Whenever you have problems like this where there's a lot going on, it's really important to exactly think through it. Take some time to actually think about what are they asking you to do. Okay, so now we need to add the 52 plus 22. Let's start with the ones place. What is 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2 is 4. And then look at your tens place. What is 5 plus 2? 5 plus 2 more is 7. So look, we got 74 both times. So it looks like we can answer the question now. How many snowballs does Bo have now? He has 74. All right, that was a tough one, but I bet you guys got it. Let's move on now to we're going to be adding, actually, this week, some 3-digit numbers. And we're just going to be working using the base 10 blocks to start with. And then eventually, as you guys get good at it, we'll move on to using just the algorithm or the equation. Okay, so the first numbers that we're going to practice adding are 124 plus 210. Now, normally in class, you would build these with base 10 blocks. I know that at home you probably don't have base 10 blocks, so what I'm going to do is actually draw them out just like I want you to do at home. So normally I'd be using base 10 blocks, but we're going to draw them since you guys don't have base 10 blocks at home. So get a piece of paper and pencil so you can work this with me, or maybe you have a dry erase board. Get something that you can use at home to solve these two. Press pause and then start it back up when you're back. Okay, so 124. Let's draw that out first with base 10 blocks. How many hundreds do I need for 124? We have 100, right? So 100. And then how many tens? There's 2 in the tens place, so 2 tens. Then how many ones? 4 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count this and make sure it's 124. 100, 110, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124. So this does represent 124. Now let's look at 210. How many hundreds are in the tens place? 2. So let's build with 2 hundreds. And then how many tens? 1 10. And then how many ones? 0. Okay, let's count this and make sure it's 210. 10, 20. What did I just do? Did you catch what I did? These aren't tens, these are 100s. 100, 200, 210. So this is 210 if you count it correctly. All right, now to add, we're going to just add these together. And when we count base 10 blocks, we always start by counting the larger ones first and then getting smaller. That helps with your counting. So normally when you would add this together, you would start with your ones place, but that's going to be a little more tricky if you're trying to count base 10 blocks. So let's start with the hundreds first. 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 331, 332, 333, 334. So 124 plus 210 is 334. Another way that you could solve this besides using base 10 blocks is by using what's called expanded form. So let me show you how that works. It's kind of like drawing it out, but just a little bit different. So if we have 124 and we wanted to make it into expanded form. The 1 stands for 100, so 100 plus your 2 10s, 10, 20, plus 4. And then we're going to add on our next expanded form for 210. So 210 has 2 100s, so 100, 200 plus 110, so plus 10, plus how many ones? 0. Okay, and we're going to add these together now. So we do 4 plus 0 is 4. 20 plus 10 is 30. And we bring down these plus signs. We still want those. And 100 plus 200. What is 100 plus 200? Or 200 plus 100? 300, right? And then we add them together. 300 plus 30 plus 4 equals 334. Uh-oh, I ran out of room. But we got the same answer as we did with base 10 blocks. So whichever strategy is easier for you to use when solving these 3-digit addition problems, go for it. If you really understand this expanded form way, use it. If you're really good at the base 10 blocks, do it that way. Let's do one more together. This time, let's do 516 plus 341. All right, I want you to press pause and see if you can solve this using base 10 blocks or expanded form, and then we're going to check it together. Okay, so 516. We have 500, so draw out 500s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm running out of room. And then your 110 and your 6 ones. Let's count this and make sure it's 516. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 510, 511, 512, 513, 514, 515, 516. Okay, now let's draw out 341. So we need 300s, 4 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 1. Let's count it and make sure it's 341. Count with me. 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 341. Okay, now let's add these together. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 810, 820, 830, 840, 850, 851, 852, 853, 854, 855, 856, 857. So 857 is the answer to 516 plus 341. Okay, now let's check it with expanded form. So 516, to expand it, there's a 5 in the hundreds place, so 500 plus 10 plus 6. And then 341, 300 plus 4 in the tens place, stands for 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 1. Add these together. Make sure we put our plus signs here still because we'll have to add them again. 6 plus 1 equals 7. And then 10 plus 40, or switch it, 40 plus 10. That's 50. And then 500 plus 300. 500 plus 300. Let's see, 500, 600, 700, 800. So it's 800. And then add. 800 plus 50 plus 7 equals 857. So we got the same answer both ways. So whenever you add 3-digit numbers, these are 2 strategies that you can use to help you. You can draw out the base 10 blocks and then count them and add them together, or you can use expanded form to help you solve the problem. So whatever you choose, it will still work the same way as long as you solve it correctly. And there are other strategies you can use as well, but these are the 2 that we're focusing on this week. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.